So what we can do now is we can continue on. And what we'll do is we'll go back into our design template. We'll load that back in again. So File, Open this time, Local File, and our backspace template, and it'll bring it back in again. And so that's, we've done a bit of a round trip there, and we can start back up where we finished off. So for a public subnet to be a public subnet, it needs to have an internet gateway in its VPC that it's associated with, and it needs to have a route from the public subnet through to that VPC. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to create that internet gateway. So I'll just make this a little bit bigger so we can see what's going on. And I'm going to go back into EC2 and select an internet gateway. And I'm just going to drag and drop that internet gateway onto the canvas, not onto the VPC, just onto the blank canvas there. And what we're going to do now is that we can see here on the top right hand side, there's a little blue dot, or a little bluish purpley coloured dot there. And that is a VPC gateway attachment. What that means is that that's what we attach our internet gateway to our VPC. So we just click on that dot, and you can see as we click on it, our VPC is highlighted in green. So we just go over, drop it onto our VPC icon, and it will create an association between that internet gateway and that VPC. So we go into components, and we can see there that we have that created. But if we go into the template, and we'll just make that a little bit bigger, we can see there that we've actually got our internet gateway created there. And we've got an internet gateway attachment, which is referencing that internet gateway. So we're just going to give that internet gateway a name so it's a bit easier to understand. So we'll just click on that internet gateway, and we're in the template. We'll go into components, and we'll change the name of that internet gateway. So again, we'll just call it backspace EC2 internet gateway. That will be fine. And we'll hit refresh. Now, if we have another look at our template, and we'll just maximize that again, we can see there we've got our EC2 internet gateway, and we've also got a VPC gateway attachment, and that is referencing that EC2 VPC and also the backspace EC2 internet gateway. So it's created a VPC attachment between the internet gateway and that VPC. Okay, so we've got a VPC and we've got an internet gateway. We have an attachment of that internet gateway to a VPC. We have a subnet within that VPC, but this subnet is still not a public subnet, because to become a public subnet, we not only need an internet gateway and that internet gateway attached to the VPC, but we also need to have a route from the public subnet through to that internet gateway. And that's what we're going to do now. So again, we go into the EC2 section, we select our route table this time, and we drag and drop a route table onto our public subnet. Now, I deliberately did this. I created this error. So cannot drop this resource here. The resource is too large. What that means is not that the resource itself is too big, but the icon is too large. So what I've done is that you need to expand the container so that it fits in the resource you dropped. What that means is, so I grab this route table here. If I plonk it in the middle, it doesn't come up with that error. What I did is I plonked it between two entities there. So I plonked it both on the VPC and on the public subnet. So Designer doesn't know where I want to put it because it's overlapping two entities. So you need to make sure that it doesn't overlap. If you come up with that error, that's what it means. So if you plonk it inside of the public subnet, it won't get that error. So again, we'll click on Components, and we're going to give that a different name that we can recognize. And again, backspace, EC2R2, RT, sounds good to me. And we refresh the Designer. Okay, so there are a number of things that we can modify here, or that we need to actually modify to make this route table work. So we go around here, we've got a VPN gateway route propagation. We don't need to worry about that. We have a subnet route table association. So we need to associate this route table with a subnet. That we need to do. So we click on that and we drag that over to our public subnet and put that on there. And there it's created that association for us. We have another one there, which is a VPC. So we need to associate our route table to a VPC as well as a public subnet, or as well as a subnet. So you can see there that the VPC has been highlighted, and we just click on that like that, and that will be fine. So if we look into our editor, and we can see there that we have a reference to our backspace VPC there. Now that we've got our route table defined and we've got it associated with both our subnet and our VPC, we can drop a route entry into that route table that will define the route between our internet gateway and our public subnet. So again, we're going to rename that. Again, we click on it, we select components, and then we can rename that. We're going to rename this public route. And save. We'll refresh the designer, and there we go. Okay, so on this public route, we have a number of different attachments that we've got there, and we have a depends on one. Now, we can't define this route if the internet gateway doesn't exist. We can't define this route if the VPC doesn't exist, and we can't define it if there is no attachment there between the internet gateway and the VPC. So what we're going to do is it depends on that being created before we create this. So if we click on depends on, and you can see there that it's going to be a number of options. So we can depend on the VPC, the internet gateway, or the attachment. So if we use the attachment, and we'll just drag that onto the attachment, this route will not be created until the internet gateway is created, the VPC is created, and the attachment is also created. So there is another thing that we need to have a look at. So there are quite a lot of things that we can use in this route entry. So we've got here, we can have an EC2 instance there, we can have VPC peering connection, a NAT gateway, an egress only internet gateway, which is not what we've got here. We've got the route table, which we associate it to, and we've got the network interface. We don't have to worry about that. Depends on we've already done, but we've also got here a VPN gateway or EC2 internet gateway attachment, or gateway ID as it's called there. So that is where we need to create this route between the subnet and the internet gateway. So again, we click on that, and you can see there in green, our internet gateway has been highlighted. We drag that over to our internet gateway, and that now has created that link between our public subnet, a route between our public subnet and our internet gateway. So that is now a public subnet because it has an internet gateway, it has an attachment from the internet gateway to the VPC, and it also has a route defined between that subnet and the internet gateway, which is what we need for it to become a public subnet. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to define what the destination CIDR block is going to be. It's going to be to the wider internet, and it's going to be to everything. So what we can do is I'll just go into the notes, and I'll just select destination CIDR block, and I'll just click on our route again, open the editor up, and put it into the properties there. Okay, so we've got a route table ID, which is our backspace EC2 route table. We've got a gateway ID, which is our backspace EC2 Internet Gateway. And we've also got our destination CIDR block there of 0.0.0.0/0 or everything. So that is all we need to do to create that route. So we just click on refresh and that's done that for us. So what we can do now is that we can look at, first of all, saving this, what we've done. So we just go into here, file, save again, local file, save that there. We'll give it a name, backspace 1 template is fine. And what we can do now is we can go into CloudFormation. We leave that, we've already saved it. Now, instead of creating a new stack, we can update this stack. So we just click on that stack now. We click on Update Stack. We click on, we choose a file first. So our new file that we just created. Click on Next. And we keep the stack name the same. And Next. And we update. And that update is in progress. And after a certain amount of time, that update will be completed. Okay, so after a certain amount of time, we're going to see the update has been completed. We can see here that the saying here the update's completed. The EC2 route has been created, the VPN gateway attachment, the subnet route table association, all that has been created successfully. So again, we'll jump back into the design template and we'll bring it back in again. So file, open, our local file, the one that we last saved. So again, try and use different names for each different template. And there it is. So we'll just zoom